What's up, baby? So I went through my subscriber list and I said, wow, I got baddies that follow me. So y'all finna be my baddie friends. She a baddie with her baddie friend. Okay, you get it? Welcome to my channel. I did a July 4th inspired makeup look. Okay. I also gave you guys a story time about how I even became a makeup artist, because I want y'all to get to know me. To do this makeup look, it's just like a talk through, girl talk type of thing. So if you guys are interested, stay tuned. Okay, let's talk. Right, so boom, I fell in love with makeup, beauty, period, at a very early age. Beauty, fashion, that was my vibe. And I'm literally like 7-8 years old. You couldn't keep me out the makeup aisle. You couldn't. I was so into the colors, the beauty, just fashion, clothes, like all of that. Now, my mom was a very fly woman, all right? So I really think like 99% of it came from her. And my mom was a makeup girl. Like, my mom was the only woman in the family that I was around that even wore makeup, that was into makeup at all. So I, definitely picked that up from her. And then when I got around like 11 or 12 years old, I was being bullied really bad because I don't have any eyebrows. Like, me and my mom, we naturally have very fine hair. So I was like begging my mom. I was like, Mom, please teach me how to do my eyebrows. Like, please. Like, these kids are roasting me at school. And so at first my mom would be like, oh, fuck what they say, it doesn't matter. And then like my mom had to remember that she was also focused now. She remembered she was bullied as well. And then with my dad's approval, well, kind of got his approval, she taught me how to do my eyebrows. Y'all, changed my life with the brows. Okay, I was able to walk into school and have brows, and it was so amazing to me, right? It was so amazing, y'all. So basically, that's kind of what I got into, the brows. After the brows, I started to get into, what did I get into? Eyeliner, brows, mascara, lip gloss, and eventually, like towards the end of high school, face powder. Do y'all remember Zuri face powder? That's the one. Okay, I think I was like African Sunset or some shit like that. But baby, changed my life. All right, you can't tell me shit. I don't care. And I started to see how people truly felt about makeup. It was a hatred. And y'all know, okay? If y'all watching this video, y'all know how much people hate makeup. I have people who book me who hate makeup. Don't do it. My man doesn't like makeup. Don't do this. Don't do that. And I'm like, ma'am, you booked a professional makeup artist, and I don't take this lightly. I'm finna beat you down. Like, we're all grown women here. You know what I'm saying? The hatred, all right? The hatred for makeup was insane. For men, women, adults, children, like, people were on my ass. And to think about how we wear makeup now, well, how I wear makeup now compared to how I was wearing makeup back then, it's like, how could they even tell I had on makeup? But sometimes people feel a way when you enhance your beauty. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, wait a minute, you need to not do that, or whatever, I don't know. So anyway, I remember like guys would like be in my face. They would be this close to my face, and I would be like, what the fuck, like, what's your problem? They'd be like, y'all, she cut all her eyebrows off and drew them back on. And I'd be like, what are you doing? But I was just a one-man band. Like, I was the only child. I didn't have any family, at my school. People didn't really fuck with me. Even my own friends kind of didn't really fuck with me like that. And so, everybody would laugh. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody would really, like, have my back. So, yeah, even my friends would laugh at me. So I would honestly be sitting there looking at them like, what is your problem? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't take it like, oh God, maybe I should stop wearing makeup. Fuck no. I'm like, what is y'all's problem? Because first of all, y'all know we follow our parents. So I'm seeing my mom get up every day doing her face and living her normal life, and my dad accepts it. And my dad is a very critical man. Whew. But anyway, and my dad doesn't have an issue with it. So of course I'm already knowing, like, I'm feeling like I'm not the issue, y'all are. Like, period. Little me in ninth grade, like, wow, I feel sorry for you. Shout out to my strong mind. Thank you, God. But yeah, I just seen like the hatred for makeup. I seen like how people treated me differently. Even now, this is ninth grade. This is like 13-year-old Felicia. This is 33-year-old Felicia. And y'all know how people be like, I wish I could tell my younger self something. Baby, I wish my younger self could have told me, baby, it's not gonna change, So I'm doing, wearing my little makeups, because it was nothing like what I wear and do now. Okay, like, people was tripping. But anyway, so high school goes and comes and goes, and I know that I want to be in the beauty industry. I know for a fact that's where I want to be. I don't know how I'm going to do it, what I'm going to do, but I do know that I was deeply into fashion design. I used to cut up my clothes and hand sew them back together. My mom also taught me how to sew. And so, yeah, like, I used to like remix my clothes. Of course, my parents hated it because they'd be like, what the F? But I couldn't help it. Like, I'm just one of those people, like, I'm respectful. Like, I'm not gonna talk over you. I'm not gonna like force my opinion on you. But after you're done talking, I still had the best album of all time. You see what I'm saying? So that's very much how I think. So my dad would be like, what the fuck? Why are you cutting all your clothes? It's in my hard money. Ah! And I'd be like, oh my gosh, Dad, I'm so sorry. But as soon as he would leave, chop, chop, chop. My parents did not buy me like trendy clothes. They would buy me like first of all, my dad used to make me wear clothes that were like 3-4 times too big, because he was like, you're not going to be showing off your shape at school. You're not going to be one of them. And I just be like, Dad, I just want to look cool. But my dad was very strict on me. Like, my dad used to scream. First of all, I can't believe I left this part out. My dad used to scream at me for wearing makeup. I mean, scream to the top of his lungs. I mean, I'm not going to get too much further, but he would get so mad at me. And like I said, I was wearing little makeups, little makeups, nail polish. My dad would scream at me for even looking at me, nail polish. And so eventually I get to the age, so where you transition from like getting a bunch of gifts for Christmas and then you get just money. So I start getting money for Christmas, right? And so I go shopping with my aunt, my dad's sister. Love, Aunt Phyllis. You are dear to my heart. I love you so much, okay? But I would go shopping with my aunt, right? And so my aunt would be like, what are you gonna get? I'm going straight to the makeup aisle. Matter of fact, 8 or 9 years old, y'all remember we used to go to a store and get lost? I would be in the makeup aisle. Everybody knew where I was. I was in the makeup aisle, okay? Every time I would get makeup aisle. Either the makeup aisle or like the arts and crafts aisle. I would always either be in one or the other, right? And so, anyway, so I'm shopping with my aunt. And my aunt's like, what are you gonna get, Felicia? I'm like, I'm gonna get nails, I'm gonna get lipstick, I'm gonna get makeup, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get some paint, I'm gonna get this. And so literally I remember, like, maybe it's like this in my head, but I remember like listing all those things to my aunt. And then she gets a phone call from my dad, and my dad's like, Felicia can buy whatever she wants, but don't let her buy any makeup. Like, well, I don't want anything. And my aunt was like, you don't want anything? I had like probably $400. Mom was like, you don't want anything? I didn't want nothing. Because I was like, he ruined my life. You know how dramatic we are as kids. I was like, he ruined my life. Because he said I can't buy makeup and that's all I want in this world of sin. And so held on to my money. I remember buying like some breadsticks and Pizza Hut. We were at Target, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, whatever, you know, unhappy, sad. Just felt like just depression because my cousin's buying her little press-on nails. I mean, the shortest little press-on nails. And I can't. And I'm just like, how come my cousin is cool and she can do everything, but I can't do anything, you know? So whatever. Anyway, life goes on. So finally I turn 18. My dad buys me a makeup kit, and I just can't believe it because my dad, as much screaming as he did, as much punishment I got on, as much as he used to take my makeup kit, throw it away, and then I would just take his allowance money and rebuy it back, I think it kind of clicked to him like, I'm wasting my money because she's gonna do exactly what she wants to do with, you know what I mean? She's gonna keep going back to it. So I turned like 17 or 16 or 17. And so finally my dad, like, I opened up a gift and my dad has me, y'all remember like those big rectangle boxes full of makeup? You used to have eyeshadow, mascara, brushes, lipstick, powder, a compact mirror, just a whole bunch of stuff. And I opened it and I was like, oh my God, my dad is giving me the okay to wear makeup. And I was like, what just happened? But guess what? He wasn't giving me the okay. I don't know why he bought it, because every time I wore it, he screamed at me. Like, it was such a weird thing, but I never stopped wearing it. And here's the thing. Well, I'm going to say that later because it gets worse. It gets worse. So boom, I ended up in the Navy. How'd I ended up in the Navy? So first of all, my dad was retired from the Navy. So I was familiar with that life. So then, I ain't gonna lie, like, there was a cute guy standing at the recruiting table at school, okay, like, okay, so I stop and I'm like, oh, hey, and, or like, he stops me, or I don't even remember, but I was just like, oh, hey, you know, because, like, yeah, he probably stopped me because, like, y'all remember those recruiting tables and stuff from high school. And they're like, hey, you know, come sign up. And I think, like, dude spoke to me and I was like, whatever. And then I turned around and looked and I was like, oh, wait. I was thinking about the Navy. Never thought about it. Never even thought about it. Not once. Okay. So, you know, we're talking or whatever. So he's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I want to do fashion design. I literally had a sketchbook full of fashion designs. I just didn't know how I was going to do it, but I was already a little fashion designer. You know what I mean? I was making my own clothes. I was even chopping up my own shoes. I was turning my sneakers into like slides. I was like cutting out the backs of them. And yeah, people used to laugh at me, but it is what it is. I was such a different child. And I was the only child too. You know what they say about only children? Like, we're in our own world. We're different. Like, we know no boundaries. So he's like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to do fashion design. The only lie that recruiter has ever told me, which I guess was the golden lie, was I could fashion design in the Navy. And I was so young and naive. I was just like, as soon as he said that, he was like, you can do that in the Navy. And he was right, because I could have, but not pertaining to the Navy. Or like, I could have been like a seamstress in the Navy. Like, we kind of like take care of people's uniforms, but whatever. I ended up being an engineer, whatever. Nobody believed I was going to the Navy because they're like, you're so girly, like, whatever. So then I took it as a challenge. I was like, I'm gonna prove all y'all wrong. My dad cussed me out. He cussed me out so bad. I remember I called him and I was like, Dad, I finally figured out what I'm gonna do with my life. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm going to the Navy. And he was like, what the fuck? I can't believe this shit. Now keep in mind, he done did 20 years. My dad retired in like 2001. So now it's 2007, 2008. He cussing me out hard. Like, he going so in on me. And I was like, I gotta go back to class. He was like, the Navy is not a place for a woman. My daughters aren't going to that shit. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I was like, I'm going. Rebel spirit. I was like, I'm going. This man's too mad. I'm going. I gotta get away from him. He's crazy. But to be completely honest, I knew I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be something in the arts. Okay, something, very much something. I just didn't know what and how and when. So even young me was like, Fee, you need some stability behind you, because you're going to be an artist, okay? You're going to be out here painting and doing what you want. You need something to fall back on. the military. So I was like, cool. But also, I was a little writer. I was a little writer too. I was a poet and I was a novelist. Like, no cap. I used to write stories and poems, and I still write poems to this day. I still got a book in me. So, I was like, this will be great for my writing career because I get to travel and see all these things, like, and then write about it, and people be like, oh my gosh, she's seen so much, you know? So yeah, I looked at it like totally positive. Boom, get into the military. Of course, like, the real me is still standing up. Like, I'm still into makeup, blah, blah. Boot camp, of course, they strip me of my makeup. They strip you of everything. They go through everything. They take away your panties, put you in new panties. Like, they stripped everything. Anything makeup had to go. Long story short, it's graduation time. So they're like, okay, y'all, if y'all want to buy makeup, y'all can. I said, oh my Jesus. So we go to the Navy Exchange, the NEX, and I splurge on my makeup. Okay, I give me some things. But there were some things that I couldn't get to, like my Zuri face powder. That's only beauty supply store. So I reached out to my mom. I wrote her a letter and I was like, Mom, I'm about to graduate. I need this, I need that, I need this, and I need that. And her and my cousin went and got everything on that list down to a T. And I will always love my mom for that, because I just felt so prioritized. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, wow, like, my mom really cared, and she sent me every single thing. I think I asked for rat tail combs. I asked for, like, just things that I just could not get in the Navy Exchange, and she sent it all. So boom, I graduate. So y'all know how it is, like, when you graduate high school, like, you're you know, graduate as a senior, and then you kind of come back, like, but maybe between like your freshman year of college and graduating, you come back and go visit your favorite teachers and stuff like that. So that's kind of the vibe after I graduated boot camp. Like, in between A school and boot camp. A school is when they teach you your job, you know, you get schooling on your job, you know. So between that, you know, me and my friends, we decided to go back and see our old RDCs, which are like teachers or whatever. And so we walk into one, and this was a black lady, right? And so I was like, hey, she looks at me, she's like, come step in my office. I'm like, okay. Now, I was a young girl, very timid, very soft-spoken. You know, I hadn't learned how to really stand up for myself yet. I know, I'm just being honest. But, you know, I was very naive, very impressionable. So when she told me to come here, I didn't have to, all right? But I did, because I thought maybe she was finna, you know, drop some knowledge. So she was like, she closed the door. And she said, you got all that makeup on your face like you a white lady. And I was like, white lady? Only white people can wear makeup? I was so confused. And and like, I was like, what the fuck's wrong with this lady? So, and then like, it's crazy because the girl I was with was white. Me and her were like mobbing. We were like, yeah, we graduated, y'all. So shout out to Severson, my girl. But I'm pretty sure Severson is probably making a killing on OnlyFans right now, because she was on that shit before that shit was that shit. All right, I'm just keeping it G. But anyway, so the lady's yelling at me and stuff, and she's like, you need to take that shit off. Now keep in mind, my makeup from like age 15 to 21 2 was simple face powder, no primer, lip gloss, eyebrows, eyeliner, always with a wing, baby. I had that wing okay, even as a little girl, wing, and baby lashes. I mean, the babyest lashes, the babyest, okay. And so, it, like, mascara and like baby lashes, like interchangeable, sometimes both, sometimes one at a time. So I was just like, I don't understand what y'all are saying. Like, now, like, if somebody seen me and they were just like, why you have on that makeup on? I'd be like, well, yeah, I'm gonna tell you why, because this balance this. Like, I would fucking explain it to you, bitch, since you want to know so bad. But even back then, I was like, I don't even have on that much. I have on powder, like literally one color powder, and I would just put it here, okay, because I use it as my concealer. Like, that Zuri face powder was so full coverage, right? And well, if you know, you know. Yeah, so I was just like, what the fuck, you know, this lady's like going in on me, and I was like, okay, bye. Like, it was so awkward, and I was just like, we gotta go. So I never told anybody. I just moved on with my life, because guess what I was still gonna do? Put on makeup. I don't really know why people thought that they're strong ass opinion. But anyway, so we check into our new home, our little holding unit basically before we get assigned to our schools and stuff. So we go check in. We're standing at muster. Muster is roll call. And so this guy sees me in the middle. It's probably like 200 of us. He sees me at the middle of everyone. He's like, "Shipmate, why do you have on those eyelashes?" And I was like, "I think they're pretty." And he was like, "Take them off. Don't come here." And like literally like embarrassed me in front of everyone. Like, you know. And so I'm mad. Like, I'm mad. No confusion. I'm pissed. Because I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, he just stood here and screamed at me like I was nothing. Like, I just felt like nothing. So then we're coming back to muster. I don't put on my eyelashes, but I have on mascara. All right. So he was like, after like the next 2 or 3 musters, he was like, "You never want to look at me now. What's wrong?" I said, "You know what's wrong. You know what's wrong." Now, it was something about like the way he screamed at me. It toughened me up though. I will say that. Like, I was very snappy with him. I was just like, "You know what's wrong. Look how you screamed at me. You could have pulled me to the side." You know what I'm saying? And he was just like, "I didn't mean it like that. It's just that you can't wear eyelashes in the neck." I'm just like, whatever, bro. So guess what I do? Wear them again. All right. So then I'm doing my thing. I get assigned to my school. I get assigned to my official barracks. Barracks are like dorm rooms. So, oh yeah, this story is about how I fell in love with makeup, what makeup means to me, and also how I became a makeup artist. So it's a lot, all right? So anyway, all right, go to my official barracks. I'm wearing eyelashes again. Here comes a guy. "Why the fuck do you have on eyelashes? Take them off and come to my office." And I'm just like, okay, bruh. I go to my room, take them off, put them in my little case, and then I go. And then he's like, "Why the fuck?" Like cussing me out or whatever. And like, so I just like kind of zone out or whatever. And so I'm zoning out and I'm thinking like, how am I going to wear my eyelashes now? Because he's going to be always looking at my eyes. So then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wear a ton of mascara. I don't even care. Like, I'm just going to wear a ton of it. So boom, I'm in my mascara phase. I'm wearing like 3-4 mascaras. I'm wearing Great Lash by Maybelline. I'm wearing Voluminous by L'Oreal. And I'm wearing one by Wet n Wild. So I'm standing at muster and he almost blew a blood vessel and he was like, "I told you to take off the fucking lashes." And I was like, "These are my natural lashes." And everyone was like, "Oh." And it felt, or maybe that's just how it happened in my head. But yeah, I was like, "These are my natural lashes." And he was like, "Let me see." And yeah, he seen it that day. So from that point on, I was able to like interchangeably put my lashes on because he didn't want to get proved wrong again in front of so many people, right? So boom, had that. Then all right, so wearing my little makeups, doing my little thing, whatever, it's no big deal. Then I meet some girls. So I ended up changing roommates, just life was life, and changed roommates. And I was in a room with 2 girls who was all about makeup. Okay. And I remember I came in and they were like, "Yes, we got a bad bitch." Well, they didn't say it like that, but they were like, "Yes, I'm so glad we got a baddie. Like, we got a good looking," and like, they were not of my culture. So I was just like, "Wow, you guys think I'm beautiful?" And they were like, "Oh my God, yes. Like, we have such a hot room." And I was like, wow, because all the guys loved us. So anyway, I miss those girls. So they would wake up super early, do their makeup. And I was like, oh my God, I belong here. And they would wake me up. They'd be like, "Fee, time to get up. It's time to get up. We gotta get ready. We gotta get ready. Come on, come on." And I was like, wow, I love you guys. I love them so much. Like, oh my gosh, like they were so amazing. We used to talk about makeup and stuff, like literally stay up all night. Like, oh, damn, where are they? Literally finna cry. We had found each other on MySpace, and then anyway, so I felt good because I was like, I'm around some people who understand me, you know what I mean, like they feel me or whatever. And anyway, like then like this guy comes around and he's like always like clowning me. He was like, you're ugly, you know, those, you need to take those lashes off, you look like a drag queen. And like I said, I didn't even wear a lot of makeup back then. Like swear y'all, like this, nothing. I didn't even know this existed back then. I didn't even know, right? So he's like talk so bad about me, and I would just ignore him because one thing you can't tell me about is my makeup. You know what I mean? You can say whatever you want to say about me. You can say my clothes are ugly or whatever, but one thing you can't tell me about or make me feel bad about is my makeup. Sorry. And at that point in my life, I was like 18. So I had felt like I had just been through so much, honey. I just thought my skin was so thick because people have talked so bad about me for years and years. It's just funny to me because I'm 33 and it's like 18-year-old Fee, you haven't seen nothing yet. But yeah, I just knew, I was like, oh y'all, I'm not even gonna say anything because people have been talking about me for years and I'm used to it now, you know. So boom, go to the ship. I'm gonna keep this part really short because this is like the segue to me being a makeup artist. So I love beauty and everything. Let me see, I was, you know, always wearing makeup. And so I remember like my friend or something like that was like, how come you're not dating anyone? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, guys don't really talk to me. And she was like, you know why? It's because you wear too much makeup and guys don't like that. Now I could see if I came to her and I was like, oh my god, you know, what do? I need a man. But I didn't give a fuck. And first of all, even at a young age, I knew if I gotta give up my makeup to get a man, well, single girl Fee all year, all summer, all day. I love makeup more than men. Why would I? All right. So I was just like, okay. And you know what's crazy? Because those be the women who will be like, Fee, can you give me some makeup tips? Give me some makeup tips. And it's like, bitch, I thought, you know what? I'll do you this one. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, so, you know, even like then, you know, people talking down on me. I get a man, boom, me and him move in together, boom. This is just long story short, okay, because it happened over a period of time. We move in together. He sees that I'm super into makeup, so I was like, I think I want to leave the Navy and be a makeup artist. He was like, that's stupid, you're not going to make any money doing makeup. And my parents kind of told me the same thing too. But see, the thing about my parents, even though it did hurt my feelings at the time, and you shouldn't do this, but I have old school parents, so they were very much like, you need an education, you need to go to college. And so it was more so from a place of love. This nigga was a hater, all right? So he was like, you don't need to do that, you need to just stick with the engineering. I was a mechanical engineer in the Navy. He was like, use your engineering career to fund your little makeup hobby. And you know, young impressionable me was like, yeah, you're right, you know, I should totally do that. That way I can still buy my makeup and do my thing. He was very condescending towards my makeup, and he used to insult me about wearing my makeup. Like, of course, I was 21. I wasn't that good at it, but I wasn't bad. All right. Wasn't bad. So basically, you know, he was a hater. And you know, he kind of, because I cared and loved him so much and we lived together, he kind of started to make me feel bad about it. And then I would get into my modes and I'd just be like, I'm gonna put on my makeup. I don't care what this man says, okay? So everybody wanted me to stop wearing it, and I'll just be like, then at first I'd be like, maybe they're right, because I keep treating, nah. And that was the thing. People kept and keep treating me bad because I like to wear makeup. Like, I hear some of the craziest things. Like, people treat me so bad because I like to wear makeup. They think that I think I'm better than them. They think I'm trying to take their man. They think that I'm rich. They think that I am a whore. But it's none of that. I'm an artist. And I like to be beautiful. I like to enhance my features. It's just that simple. I don't think less of you. I accept you as you are. I accept you natural beauty. I accept you however the fuck you come. As long as you have good spirit, I accept you. So boom. Everybody just kept, it's just so funny to me because everybody just keeps on trying to make me feel bad. Don't mind my puppy, she's in her cage, and you know, it's time for her, it's cage time. So it's tummy time. Everyone tries to make me feel bad about wearing makeup, thinking that their strong ass opinions is just gonna snap me out of it. It never happens, and it never will. It never will. All you motherfuckers that keep coming at me. I remember this guy I liked. He was like, you're self-conscious because you gotta wear makeup every time. Every day you gotta wear it. And guess what? He ended up going with a bitch. Guess what she do? Stop fucking playing with me, alright? Stop it. The only reason why your bitch don't do it is because she can't do it. Sorry, y'all. I got a little in my feelings. But anyway. I'm in the barracks. We ended up getting into some more barracks or whatever. Our ship was under whatever, construction or whatever. Captain had ran that jump to the ground. We was on deployment so much. So anyway, we're in our repair season. So we're in our barracks. So basically turn my barracks into the trap. Kind of how I did my house. Like people were coming to get their nails painted. People coming to get sew-ins. People coming to get their makeup done on the weekends and stuff like that. Boom. My chief hears about me. It's time to re-enlist. And I was like, my weight was up and down because I'm like a depressive eater. I was internalizing some things, going through some things. But my chief was like, you don't have to get out. We can sweep that shit under the rug, like dead ass. He was like, we can sweep that shit under the rug, but why do you want to stay in? He was like, I have heard about you. You're a makeup artist. He was like, you're good at what you do. He was like, you need to get out and chase your dreams. Y'all, that was the first time that anybody has ever spoke life into my passion. I had never told him that I love doing makeup, but it's like he could just see it. He heard about it, and oh my gosh, he was like, these people here don't have any dreams. He was like, you're young, you have a dream. He was like, you need to chase it. He was like, who would I be if I let you? Okay, I'm back. But he was basically pushing me towards that, and I was like, oh my god. By the time I walked out of his office, because I had did my my re-enlisting paperwork and everything. By the time I walked out of his office, my nose was up here. I was like, yeah, bitches, I got a dream. I got a dream, and you bitches ain't got a dream. Like, I was Then he had to call me back in the office, and he was like, calm down. You're getting a little too cocky. He was like, you gotta relax, okay? You gotta bring it back. He was such a real one. I remember he used to always tell me, he was like, you're the realest person I ever met. And it was just weird to me because I'm just like, I'm just being me. But I guess I'm just a real motherfucker, okay? Chief Bun Cab. I would do anything for you. I would do anything for you. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't expect to be emotional. But I can't be emotional because I gotta set my under eye. Anyway, boom. I get out. And I was like, how am I just gonna be a makeup artist? Like, this is weird. So I ended up applying to a job at Ulta. Ulta was cool, but I was only making like $7.50 or $8.50 an hour or something like that. And I think honestly, no, this is what I did. My dad told me to collect my unemployment. He was like, just relax, you just got out. I ended up coming back home. Oh, wait a minute. I'm leaving something out. Okay, so okay, please excuse me. I did not expect. Okay, so this will happen. I used to always go shopping at the Mac counter in Washington, in Bremerton. That's where I ship my second duty station, or my third, should I say. We were coming from San Diego, so we went to Washington to put our ship up and put it in a maintenance period. So I used to spend all my little coins at the Mac counter. Like, I was up there almost every day. So the manager comes up to me. Now, I don't think I told them I was in the Navy, but the manager comes up to me one day and she's like, I need you to work here. And I was like, really? And y'all, I don't know, like, if you're in the beauty culture, the beauty industry, like, to be invited to work at Mac was such an honor. You know what I mean? It was such an honor. It was before the huge entrepreneurship wave. It was such an honor. And I was just like, what? She was like, yes, take this application. She pushed the application in my hand, and I actually took a picture of it and posted it. And I was like, the manager said I need to work here, y'all. What do y'all think? And everyone was like, yeah. So I probably had like a few months left in the Navy, and I was just like, how am I gonna finesse this? Like, what if they hire me today? But I was gonna finesse it. Strong-minded God. I was gonna finesse it. I was gonna do whatever I gotta do to finesse. Take leave, whatever. All right. Choose a different ship. Okay, so boom. I go get, and you know what? I'm so glad I'm talking about this, because this interview process was one of the best interview processes I've ever had in my life. Like, it was amazing, y'all. So boom, I get there. I think I had to bring a model. They switched our models, right? You know, so I'm thinking I'm gonna do makeup on my homegirl that I've been doing makeup on, which my homegirl was my first face. I gotta tell y'all about that. I gotta tell y'all about my first face. But I had already did her face before, but dang, I can't believe I left that out. But I'm gonna tell y'all because it's such a cute story. Andrea Clark. I'm telling them, okay? So anyway, bring my homegirl Clark, right? Clark's there. We ended up switching our partners and stuff like that. I ended up getting, you know, of course, a face I've never had before, do her face. And like, while I'm there, it was like a group interview, so we were like in a U shape, and like the interviewers were at the front. They were asking us questions, and like there was this lady. She was white, right? She was a beautiful blonde white lady, and she kept winking at me. She was like, and I was like, is she winking at me, or am I tripping? So anyway, I'm like, I don't know. I was like, she's not winking. She's not winking. Nah, she's not winking. But she kept winking at me. And so it was so crazy, because all I had on my resume at the time was Dairy Queen and the Navy. So I'm just like, these people are not about to hire me, you know. But I'm somebody who, like, I appreciate the experience. So anyway, so I remember there was a guy there. He had a portfolio that was off the chain. He had Tyra Banks. He had all these top models. And he had like writer's credit. These were not just pictures he was showing saying, I did this. He had credit on them. Like, let's say his name was Galvin Istanbul. It would be like, picture Tyra Banks, and it'll be like credits like photographer, makeup by Gavin Istanbul. And I was just like, wow, this guy's incredible. He's totally getting hired. They totally didn't hire him. They totally did not hire him. You know, we do our little makeup portion. They critiqued me. They told me, they were like, okay. Because I was, baby, I was into contour then. You hear me? Contour, I was into it then. Baby, that was 2012, something like that. Baby, I was into it then, 13. So the lady was like, oh my God, your mom is beautiful. But if your person already has a small nose, don't contour it. You know what I mean? Just highlight it a little bit, do your thing. I said, yeah, got you. Put that in my pocket, okay? Never forgot that. And I was like, okay, boom. Okay, boom, got hired. Everybody was so happy for me. I was just like, oh my God. So they were like, you're going to work in Nordstrom's. I'm like, okay, so boom. So in order to work for Nordstrom's, you have to interview with Nordstrom's. So the lady, I go do an interview with Nordstrom's and everything, super, super excited. The lady puts a Clarisonic in front of me. First of all, she asked about my work history, and I was like, yeah, just Dairy Queen in the Navy. She was like, that's it? No retail? And I'm like, no. She was like, wow. So she put a Clarisonic in front of me. Now, I had seen Clarisonic like flipping in magazines, but I'm not a salesperson at the time. You know what I mean? So she was like, sell me this Clarisonic. Bomb, failed. I didn't know what to say. Didn't know what to do. So boom, she called me and she was like, yeah, we're going to go with other options. So since Nordstrom's didn't hire me, Mac was like, well, you can't work there full time because we're like this with them. And they were like, I mean, you could freelance. And I was just like, I didn't look at that as the opportunity that it really was. I really should have, but I was just like, because they hired me full time, baby. They hired the girl full time. And I was like, well, if I would have got that full-time position, then I would have stayed in Seattle. Like, I would have stayed out there. But since I didn't get it, I was like, I can't live out here. But I could have. My dad persuaded me to come back home. He was like, Fee, you don't understand. It's so hard to transition out of the Navy. So he was like, I want you to come home so I can help you out. You know, I'm going to be, you know, me and your mom are going to be there for you. And I was like, okay. So my dad finessed me back home. And then also he was like, your ship is about to leave and come back to San Diego. You're going to be out there all by yourself. So, but I could have done it. But everything happens for a reason. Okay, my bad, y'all. So, first phase, my homegirl wants a makeover, right? And so I was like, yeah, come to my room. Now, I didn't know much about sanitation and stuff like that. However, me and my homegirl were the same color, so I just felt like, you know, I gave her like the messiest silver glitter cut crease I've ever done in my life. It was my first phase. I did her makeup and she hated it. I didn't take no offense to it. I was just like, girl, if you don't like it, go take it off, girl. No. Okay, I'm gonna go back to sleep. So she was like, I don't like it. And I was like, you're good, girl. Go take it off. Like, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. Like, I took zero offense. I didn't care. I was just like, whatever. My girl don't like it. We're gonna move on with our lives. I think I literally took a nap. I think I for real took a nap. And I was like, okay, so after I take my nap, I wake up and get on Facebook, of course, right? So I get on Facebook and I see, hold on, y'all. It's my puppy be barking and I can't think. Insty ways. So do her makeup. Anyway, wake up, get on Facebook. That's where I was at. Get on Facebook and I see she done uploaded 28 pictures. I said, hold on. With the makeup on. I said, hold on. So I go knock on her door. I said, Miss Ma'am. She said, hold on. She said, I had to, you know, see it from different angles. She said, I love it. I said, ooh. Baby started, and from that day forward, she started wearing makeup. When I tell y'all, my girl, I hope she don't get mad at me saying this, but I mean it in a good way. She started to walk different. She walked. Okay? This, and makeup is just here. Alright? But everything about my, okay, titties was higher. Booty started getting bigger. Everything was amazing. Okay? I was like, oh my God, I want to do makeup. I want to put it on other people. I want everyone to have this confidence. I'm a magic fairy. Like, I just felt so good. Like, I was like, wow, you know what I mean? So I was so happy for my girl because I'm like, baby done found herself. So that's why it was so important for me to tell y'all, because that is what pushed me to doing makeup for other people. You know, from that point forward, it was just a true love and desire and hobby for me. I would do makeup on other people and I didn't charge them anything because it was just important to me, because I would want to see them in colors that look good. Like, I would maybe put a color next to somebody and I'd be like, oh my God, you need this green, you need this red, you need this purple. And I would just put the color on them and watch them transform. It was deeper, you know. And then one day I moved back home, you know, couldn't run from the makeup thing. I was in college. I finessed a student loan. When I say I finessed a student loan, basically I got a student loan and didn't use it for it. I mean, I just got a student loan so I can invest it in my makeup kit. That's what I mean by finessed, which I know a lot of people, but finessed it. I think it was like $3,500. I took the whole thing to Ulta, Mac, Sephora, and you know, I had done hella research. Oh, when I was in the Navy, I had bought Kevin Aucoin, Bobby Brown books. I still have those books to this day, and I still crack them open and refer to them. You hear me? Before YouTube and stuff like that, before I was on YouTube, I would be on deployment reading my makeup books, and those books taught me a lot as well. So I still have them. They're on my bookshelf. Those books mean a lot to me because they definitely taught me so many things, and I love those books. I hope to put out a book like that one day. I love Kevin Aucoin books. They're so big and like just larger than life. So anyway, yeah. So that's how my first face went. Totally transformed me. Finessed a student loan. Took it to Ulta. Bought me a kit. Did hella research. My first foundations were L'Oreal True Match, and I had Coastal Scents palettes, and you know, I had little pieces here and there from MAC. You know, and how I would do my kit is I would maybe buy something for myself. How I still do my kit. Alright, I buy something for myself, put it on. Oh, this is not working. This is not for me. Put it in my kit. Put it in my kit. And then how I transition makeup out. Like, so let's say like I'm hitting pan on stuff in my makeup kit, I'll replace it, and then if I love it, then I'll slide it in my kit. Okay, so it's basically like a recycle thing. And then usually I just buy two. It's like one for me, one for my child, basically is how I do it. So come back home. I was thugging it for a while. You know, my dad was like, don't rush to get back in the workforce. You know what I'm saying? Like, collect your unemployment. You've been working hard for 5 years. Just chill, just relax. And I took his advice. But then I started itching, y'all. I started itching. I walked into Sephora. They tried to hire me on the spot. And I was like, oh, let me think. Because I really want to take my dad's advice this time. You know what I mean? I think he's right. I'm just collect my unemployment. Relax, relax, relax. Chill, chill, chill. So, and I did do that. So after my unemployment ran out, I was ready to work. I applied to Ulta. Ulta hired me immediately. I was happy, but I was only making $8 an hour, girl. And my assistant manager gonna be like, don't tell nobody because I threw some 50 cents on there. Boy, please. Anyway, but anyway, so going to college. And I was just online looking for like a better job because I was like, you know what, let me put this military experience to use. I came across this process engineering job out there in Olive Branch, which, you know, Memphians know that's right down the street. So I ended up getting that job. It was a black lady HR. Baby, she said, your resume was so amazing, I created a position for you. I said, and you know, my dad told me that. He was like, you can set yourself up to where people will create jobs for you. And he was so right. Like, he was so right. But anyway, do that. I'm there doing my engineering thing, you know, writing blueprints, chasing things out, tracing lines out, troubleshooting, tracking the expenses, what we're spending on equipment and products and ingredients, and tracking what's going out, you know, stuff like that. I was a junior process engineer, so I wasn't doing too much. So the engineer that I ended up working under, I was the only like black engineer there until he came. And so he was 40 years old, so of course he was senior engineer. So I worked as, actually I don't think we ever talked about it. I think I just immediately went under his wing. You know what I mean? He was such a good, knowledgeable guy, and sometimes he would come ask me questions, but I feel like that was his way of letting me know that I'm included. You know what I mean? I think he'd already made his mind up about certain things, and he'll come ask me a question. He'd be like, I was thinking that as well. And I'd be like, yes, I made a difference. But I think really he already knew the answer. But anyway, cool ass guy. So I started to know, because I was the one that tracked the production, I started to see that the production started to slow down tremendously, like tremendously. And so I was like, oh my goodness, like something's going on. So he comes to my office one day. He was like, we're gonna shut down. And I was like, no, because I was getting paid such good money for part-time. Like, it was so good. Like, it was so good. But I wasn't happy. And that's the thing. Like, money truly does not buy happiness. I was making a lot of money. But I wasn't happy. You know what I mean? Like, maybe initially at first, it kind of did something for my ego. But then after a while, I was just like, man, I hate this job too. Working with those men, all those men up there, was worse than working with women. And I actually don't have a problem with working with women. I'm just going off of what everyone else says. Those men were so gossipy and so messy and just, oh my goodness, it was just disgusting. And these were old men. You know those jobs where like there's been people there that have been there for like 28 years. Yeah, it was like those type of men. It's just like, y'all got real family. You know what I mean? But anyway. All right, they sell the place, right? It was a fiberglass plant, and another fiberglass plant ended up buying them out. So they ended up paying us. We had a meeting, and they finally broke the news to us. What me and my senior engineer had already cracked the code on, but they broke it to us, and they told us that they were going to pay us to the end of the year. Some people got severance packages. Of course, this is my first year here, so they just paid me to the end of the year, which I was cool with that. I was like, fine. I go home, but I'm hurt though. I'm still hurt because it's like, I thought I had finally found my thing. Even though I wasn't 100% happy there, I was like, I thought I found my thing. Like, I thought I found like my job that I was going to be at for a while, that I was going to move up in the company. So I go home, tell my cousin. Luckily, she was on the couch high as hell. And so I was like, cousin, I got something to tell you. She was like, what's up? I was like, my job is shutting down. And she was like, so what? She was like, you love doing makeup anyway. Oh, back up. So the senior engineer that I was working under, one day he comes to my office. Yeah, they set your girl up with a little office. He comes to my office and he's like, why do you want to be an engineer? And he was like, don't get me wrong, like, you're good at what you do, but I can look at you and tell what you love. And he was coming to me like how my chief came at me. And I was like, what do you mean? Job security? Like, who wouldn't want to be an engineer? Like, we make money, we do our thing, we get offices, we get our own extension. Like, I'm like, I love it. And he was like, true job security is when you work for yourself. And he was like, I'm 40 years old. He was like 40 to 45 somewhere, but he was a very good looking man. No disrespect. But, because he was married. And I already had that entrepreneurial spirit in me. Like, no cap. I'm gonna tell y'all about that. But he was like, let's say he was 43. He was like, I'm 43 years old. I was 24 at the time. And he was like, this is the 5th or 3rd, I can't really remember, but it was like another plant that had shut down on him. He was an engineer, like that's where his degree was. And he was like, now I had to tuck my tail between my legs and go tell my wife that she's gonna have to hold it down for a little second while I find something else. Now, I'm pretty sure he had savings and stuff like that, but still, I feel what he was saying. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I'm basically gonna have to go tell my wife that I gotta, I don't have a job anymore. I gotta go find another one. And he was like, if I knew then, meaning like in his college days, what he knew now, he was like, I would have chased photography. He was like, that's what I love to do. He was like, I don't want you to make that same mistake. He was like, I can look at you and tell what you love. I want you to do your thing. And I was like, oh my goodness, like deja vu, like what? So I definitely took that in, you know what I mean? But I was still like, I don't know. Like, how do I just do this? How do I get clients? Like, how do I do this? So boom, I go home after they gave us our little speech about how they're shutting down and how they're going to pay us to the end of the year. This eyebrow's not eyebrowing. That is not a good looking brow. It looks so bad, but just wait one. But anyway, so they give us our little paperwork, whatever. And so I told my cousin, I was like, I don't have a job anymore. And she's like, so what? You want to do makeup anyway? And I'm like, yeah, but like that was like really taking care of the bills. So boom, I'm sitting there. She passed me the blunt. We on the couch. She passed me the blunt. Empire Beauty School commercial comes on. And she's like, there you go, cuz. Well, I don't even know why you tripping. She was like, there you go. Like, that's where you need to be at. And I was like, dang, do I need to be there? So she was like, you need to go down there and sign up, because like that's your calling right there. And I was like, wow. And I was like, okay, I got you. It's like, I hear you. It was like so many people kept telling me, like, you gotta go. Like, stop playing. Stop distracting yourself with other things and go be a makeup artist, honey. Ain't that what you got out for? So literally the next day I go up there and sign up. When I signed up for beauty school, it's like everything just started to click, 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 click into place. And I ended up getting a job, another job at MAC through there. That was an incredible experience as well. I was the only they had a whole job fair, and out of everybody, it was hundreds of people who showed up, I was the only person who got hired full time. Even though it was, you know, it wasn't like 40 hours a week or anything like that, but still very grateful for that. And I finessed that. Like, I was a 12-hour artist. If you know, you know. I was a 12-hour artist, right? And come on, focus. And so I was taking people's shifts. I was working hard. I was coming in. I was doing everything I could do. I got promoted. And you know, getting promoted and stuff, it was a challenge too, because I'm gonna be real. I hope my old manager don't get mad, but I had my first manager was very, very laxed. Very, very laxed. And so she wasn't that hard on us. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't that hard on us. She was like, you know, as long as we showed up, was respectful, you know, she wasn't too, you know, and, you know, got our sales and stuff like that, came to work dressed up, wore our makeup. She wasn't tripping. So when I got promoted, I ended up getting a manager who was like, reminded me of the Navy days. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, you know what I mean? I almost felt like I shouldn't have gotten promoted, because I was just like, oh my goodness, like, this lady is so strict and stuff like that. Like, I just feel like, how did I even get a promotion? You know what I mean? But I was a great worker and everything. It's just that I needed to grow up. You know what I mean? Like, mature. So that job really grew me up. You know what I mean? Because when you're in the Navy, like, yeah, it's all about punctuality. It's all about that. But they can't fire you. Not like that. You got to be really fucked up. I mean, you got to be really fucked up to be fired, or you got to AWOL from the military. You know, this job right here, since it was something I really, really loved, and it was like I was finna finesse myself out of this position that other people were fighting for, I had to get it together. And my manager, even though she was on my ass and she was tired of me, she told me one day, she was like, I was supposed to been fire you. I was like, this lady hate me. But she didn't hate me. She wanted me to raise my standards, and she wanted her team on one accord, and I fuck with that. So anyway, boom, I was like, I ended up leaving beauty school because I ended up getting robbed, and it was just a bunch of stuff. They took my cosmetology kit. It was hard for me to keep up, y'all. It was so hard for me to keep up. So boom, I ended up getting robbed, and you know, I tried to hold it down. I tried, but I just couldn't. So I ended up leaving. I just, you know, stop going or whatever. So, but it kept sitting in the back of my mind because I had 200 hours left. It's a 1,500 hour program, so I had like 240 hours, give or take, left. And so I was like, I want to go back to school. And she was like, I gotta finish this degree. And she was like, Felicia, because I transformed myself. I did. I transformed myself. I stopped being the ancient person, and I started to be a great person. Like, for real, no cap, I started being a great person. So I was telling her, I was like, I want to go back to school. And she was like, Felicia, I'm gonna be real with you. She was like, it's about to be a lot of positions opening, and I want you to be here for the growth. Wink, wink. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I don't want you to miss any opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what does that mean? Like, is she gonna, you know what I mean? I was like, is she gonna be like, what's going on? So, y'all, please excuse me. I'm trying to sneeze. I'm gonna do this. Shave mommy face. Don't. Okay, sorry y'all. My camera died. Where is mine? Okay, I need to do this here. But anyway, so what was I saying? Like, promotion. All right, boom. I ended up getting promotion to like third key manager. Opened up a new counter in another mall. Amazing. And I was able to go back to school and finish. So I was just kind of like doing what I can. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I don't want to do it's. I have a very strong mind, and I thank God for that. So while my manager was telling me like, you know, you have to be at work so you don't miss these opportunities, I was like, yeah, for sure, I hear you, but I gotta finish this degree. You know what I mean? I got to. I learned my lesson putting businesses and stuff in front of myself. Let me tell y'all about my first 1-star review. When I got hired at Mac, I cherished it. I was like, oh my God, nothing's better. Even though I was working for myself on the side, I got hired at Mac in 2015, got out the military in 2013. Even though I was working for myself on the side and everything, it was like when Matt called, I was coming. So one day, the regional manager comes and she's like, she tells my manager, like, this schedule is all wrong. Everyone that's here, I don't know why they did this, but everyone who was there had to be sent home, and people who were home had to be called in. And it was just crazy. It was just like really weird. I don't know. But I get called in during prom season. Literally had some people like waiting on me. I was supposed to be traveling to them. So I canceled on them, y'all, because I was like, y'all, I just got called in. Like, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but y'all can come up to my job. That's kind of how I was thinking. I was like, y'all can come up to my job and I'll take care of y'all. But as of right now, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? They left me a 1-star review, and rightfully so. You know what I mean? This is when I first got Style Seed. I had no idea how it worked. So I would have people like put their phone numbers and their credit card numbers in, and focus now. It charged her card, but I didn't even see it until after I was done with my shift because I was like rushing to get to work. Once I caught it, I refunded it immediately because I thought that I had to check people out myself. You see what I'm saying? I didn't think that I'm gonna do like a little star in the middle. But yeah, I thought I had to check them out myself. I didn't know it was automatic. So she left me a bad review for that. Shout out to the person who still booked me after that review. You know, and it took me a while to get myself together too, because like I think the next person who did book me, I ended up losing my phone. So Style Seed is like totally on my phone and everything like that. Focus. So lost my phone, didn't even know I had a booked appointment, charged her. Oh my God, I sent her the longest email. I just told her like my life is falling apart right now. Like I was going through some stuff. I was like, my life is falling apart, ma'am. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to make it. She didn't respond or whatever. I had to charge that to the game. But yeah, y'all, it was a mess. Like I was going through some things, trying to get my life together, you know what I mean? And so I took a break, only for like a month. I took a break, and I remember I made a post and I was like, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm definitely gonna be refunding people. And my homegirl wrote me and she was like, whoa, refunds? I don't know, we don't refund people, what's going on? And I was like, girl, my life is just in shambles right now. I was like, I don't have a car, I don't have a phone, I don't have anything, like everything is just terrible, you know? And she was just like, stay down. So I ended up you know, it was a lot. Oh, let me tell y'all about this. So I ended up getting my own apartment while I was working at Mac. That's what happened. I had to move back in with my parents. It was a lot, y'all. It was a lot going on. But when I ended up, oh guys, this is the Nude Persuasion palette from Beauty by Melissa. Love this palette. This is a staple in my collection. Her Instagram is Beauty by Melissa, and yes, I'm going to be using this. I just did an unboxing, but anyway, I want to like try to draw like a star. At my apartment, I shut down my apartment for a whole weekend and told everybody to just pull up. I literally made a post and was like, just pull up, get your makeup done, bring your own lashes. I needed that practice. I needed just people coming. Because even though like I had the practice at Mac, I needed my own practice. I don't know. I just love doing makeup so much. And I didn't even sleep that whole weekend because I was doing makeup all weekend. Like people really turned me up. People were like really like, they were pulling up for real. So yeah, y'all, it was amazing. So anyway, that weekend owes me nothing. It taught me, so I learned so much in that weekend. Literally, I was off that weekend at Mac and still clocked in for myself to do makeup. But anyway, so I was doing makeup. Um, so how I was, okay, so people just started to, I'm gonna be honest, people just started to see that I was taking it so serious. You know what I mean? People started to see like, oh my gosh, she is so serious. Like, she is not playing with this makeup stuff. So my friends and family started to book me. They did, y'all. They started to book your girl. And I was like, oh my God. Like, they really started to book me. So, this star is like trash. It's trash already. It's crazy. But I'm gonna just keep going. Just keep going. So yeah, people started to book me, and I just started to grow and grow and grow. Even though you don't have to be licensed in the state of Tennessee to be a makeup artist, it definitely taught me how to be a professional. And so I would never tell anyone like, you don't need to go to beauty school. Me personally, I feel like if you want to be in the beauty industry any way, shape, or form, you should go to beauty school. Another thing too is beauty school gave me business. Like, people knew me as the makeup artist. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of people there as makeup artists. Which brings me to my next point. Let me tell y'all about this. I'm in beauty school, you know what I'm saying? Doing my thing, just trying to get my license. So we're doing facials. It's facial time, right? And so we come to school with no makeup. Now, one thing about me, baby, I love skincare, okay? So I was ready for my facials, baby. Now, because I wear makeup all the time, everyone just always acted like, well, I ain't gonna say everyone, but you had those dramatic ass people that was like, I didn't even know who you were. And that always blows me, because it's like, then why are you talking to me then? If I don't recognize you, I ain't gonna talk to you. You feel me? Like, why would I talk to you, bro? I don't know you. I don't recognize you. But anyway, so everyone kept acting like, well, not everyone, but the select ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you're a makeup girl, you know what I'm saying. People be trying to act so ignorant, like you're just unrecognizable without makeup. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I came to school with no makeup on because I was ready for my facial. And my teacher, one of the, not my teacher, but one of the instructors, like, called me in the office, and it was a whole bunch of instructors in there, and she calls me in the office, and she's like, oh wow, you don't have on makeup today. She was like, you don't look like you can take anyone's man today. Like, okay, again, calls me in there, closes the door. She's like, let me talk to you for a second. I'm like, okay, what's up? You know, because I used to have issue with my attendance, because I used to skip school because I was hustling. You know what I mean? I was doing makeup here and there. I was working at Mac. So I'm thinking like, these folks finna tell me I'm kicked out. So that's the reason why I was like, oh shit, like, what's up? So I go in there, and the teacher's like telling me this shit, and I'm just looking like, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now. You know what I mean? Like, y'all gotta be insane. And yeah, they were like, all the instructors were in there. Well, I'm not gonna say all, but a few of them were in there, and they were like sitting down, like this was just like breaking news, like this was just an important meeting, like we got to meet with Felicia about how she looks without makeup on. And another testament to how weird people are about makeup. So fucking weird. Oh, okay, so this kind of ties into like how I started wearing blue hair. I started wearing blue hair because I went through a really bad breakup. The first week of beauty school, I went through a terribly breakup. And so when I broke up with him, I was like, I don't want this nigga to know me. When he see me in the streets, I don't want him to recognize me. So that's how my thoughts, that's how they come in my head. So I was like, I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna dye my hair blue. Like, I was just in the mirror staring at myself, and I'm like, I'm gonna do something crazy. So I dyed my hair blue. I stayed up all night long dyeing my hair blue. And I remember when I walked into class, my teacher seen me, and she was just like in a good way. she was like, I don't think I've ever seen a color look as good on them as this does you. And I was like, really? She was like, yes. She was like, keep it. And I was like, okay. So I'm feeling good. I was so scared. I was late to school because I was so scared. Like, you know what I mean? I've done all this work to my hair, so obviously I'm not finna like do it over. You know what I mean? I was so scared to go to school. But I ended up going and it was great. And then I started to be known as like the girl with blue hair. So like when people would book me for services, they couldn't remember my name. They would just be like the girl with blue hair. And it just kind of stuck. Even at MAC, people would be like, where's the makeup artist with blue hair? And so I just kind of kept it because it stuck and it just kind of set me apart. Because like people really didn't know my name. Like I was like new artist. People didn't know my name. So, you know what I mean? I was just, you know, I just kept it. I just kept it as I started building my clientele, like I said, because beauty school, honestly, beauty school helped me to build my clientele, my family and friends, because they seen that I was taking my craft seriously. My cousin LaRae Allen, I love her. I would do anything for you, LaRae, anything. She ended up hiring me and set up a whole makeup class at her house, and it was incredible and I loved it. And that's when I announced to them that I got hired at MAC. Y'all, they were so happy for me. Don't cry. They were happier for me than my parents. And they were so happy for me that I was like, why are y'all so happy? It's just a job at the mall. But my cousin's like, this is gonna open so many opportunities for you. Yes! Like, they were so happy, y'all. And when I think about that moment, I just remember them reaching out to me, like coming up to me, hugging me. Okay, the gangster is back. So I just remember them like reaching out to me, hugging me and stuff. And I was just, they were so happy for me. I was just like, wow, maybe I'm not happy enough for myself. You know what I mean? Anyway, chat. How I started getting business was because of my friends and family. They were telling people about me. They were booking me. They were bringing me clients. I do this so my camera can focus. People in beauty school started to come to me. People at MAC, of course MAC. But I worked a lot, y'all, and I put in the overtime, like, and then, you know, I came up with my business name and I literally drew my logo, and sent it to one of my military friends who was into graphic design, and he, you know, he did it for me. Like he put it in computer terms, and I'm not trying to brag, but I do know how to do that myself. However, I didn't have a computer at the time. So honestly, my logo is very simple, but I don't know if I would have been able to do that at the time, to be honest. I don't want to be like, well, I could have done it myself. Like, no, I think he did the fuck out of that, and I don't think I was able, or I don't think I would have been able to do it. Maybe eventually with hella research, but he did that. Okay, anyway, shout out to Chris Webb, my guy. Okay, love you. Still have that logo from 2015. I will never change it. So anyway, did my logo, started marketing myself as FD Artistry, period, and it was up and stuck. And yeah, so the harder I work, and other makeup artists in the city, baby, because I work next to them at MAC, because they would see my work on social media, even the ones that didn't work at MAC, they would see my work. When they would get booked up, baby, guess what they would do? Oh, girl, go see Felicia. Go see my girl Felicia. Even people who never even met me in person. Makeup artists who never even met me in person was sending people to me. I'm like, how y'all even trust me, bro? With y'all clients. They're like, girl, you good, okay? So, yeah, y'all, like, they was literally, like, sending me clients. That's why, like, Y'all, people, you're in competition with yourself. You're not in competition with others. You're not. People are going to come to you for you regardless of anything, okay? It doesn't matter. Hold on, y'all. Let me go clean off my brush. Okay. Okay. To this day, makeup artists who I've never even met in person send me clients, y'all. And that's so special, so special, so special to me. Like I was saying, people that are in your field are not your competition. Whoever you were yesterday is your competition. Not trying to sound like a Disney movie, but for real. Like, think if I would have thought of these people as competition the whole time they're building up my business.